Save and share this perfect Colorado road trip itinerary as a Kansas City family with 4 young kiddos. We decided to stay in Oakley, Kansas at the Kansas Country Inn, which was about 5-hour drive from Kansas City. It was super cute, had an amazing homemade breakfast and a swimming pool. We made a pit stop to Monument Rocks, which is about 30 minutes into the country from the Kansas Country Inn. It's these bizarre 70-foot tall chalk formations just out there in the middle of a Kansas prairie land. In Oakley, Kansas, we also stopped at the huge Buffalo Bill statue at the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center. Next day, we hopped back in the car and made it all the way to Colorado. We rented an Airbnb that was walking distance from the Garden of the Gods, which I highly recommend. Garden of the Gods was our first stop, and there's so many different spots and hikes you can do here. We spent a lot of time here, and it was absolutely beautiful. Our next stop was Red Rock Canyon Open Space for another hike. This is an old quarry, so there's some really cool formations to climb on. Kids loved these stairs in the side of the mountain. It's just another beautiful hike in Colorado Springs. We were told we needed to stop at Josh and John's for some ice cream, so this was our next stop, and it did not disappoint, especially after a full day of hiking. The next day we went to Seven Falls. Now the first 2 hikes we did were free. Seven Falls is not free, but my husband and my kids all decided this was their favorite stop on our entire vacation. After a 15-minute walk to the falls, take either the stairs or the mountain elevator up to the Eagle's Nest for a beautiful view of the Seven Falls. You go back down the elevator and walk on over to the falls. There's another set of stairs where, if you want, you can walk all the way to the top of the Seven Falls. Some of us did this and some of us didn't. The ones that did said it was definitely worth it. It's 224 steep stairs up the side of the mountain. Once you get to the top, there's obviously a beautiful view out across the valley and also a couple of hiking trails that we definitely recommend. Our next stop was a beautiful drive through the mountains to Helen Hunt Falls. This spot is perfect for families with kids. At Helen Hunt Falls, there's a nature center with kids activities and gem mining that you can do in this trough or in the creek right below Helen Hunt Falls. This was a highlight of the trip for the kids. I loved this hike to the very top of this trail. I had my toddler on my back, and it was a bit of a strenuous hike with him on my back, but our 4-year-old did this whole hike all by himself also. We made it. If you can't tell, our family really likes hiking. Next day, we drove an hour to the Royal Gorge Bridge and Park. And while this is a little expensive for our bigger family, we all decided this was completely worth it. The gondola rides are included in your admission ticket, and they have solid floor gondolas, but they also added a glass bottom gondola option, and we thought it was so cool. You can ride the gondola as many times as you want, but make sure and walk across the bridge also. Once you're on the other side, there's a fun town for kids that includes a playground, free carousel rides. The Funland had great big slides with climbing structures that the kids played in for a long time. Also a free bird show that they all love. And then there were some crazy things that you could do at an extra cost, like whatever this thing is, a little shooting range, some gem mining, and a zip line that goes all the way across the gorge, 1,200 feet above the bottom. And yes, I did do the zip line, and it was awesome. For dinner, we ate at Fargo's Pizza in Colorado Springs. That's like stepping back in time and has this really cool player piano that has a bunch of different instruments in it. You can tell a pizza's good by the cheese pull. And for the very last thing on our agenda was completing the Manitou incline that had been on our bucket list. The Manitou incline is 2,768 railroad tie steps straight up the side of this mountain. But the hardest part of it is it's less than a mile, but it has an over 2,000-foot elevation gain in less than a mile. We left the 2 youngest kids at the B&B with my in-laws, but my 7 and 9-year-olds both completed this with my husband and I. It wasn't a whole lot of fun, and it did take us 2 hours, but the sense of accomplishment afterward and not giving up is something that we're all so incredibly proud of. And every time we saw the incline from afar on the side of the mountain, we were shocked at ourselves all over again.
Yay, Daddy!
Once we took the 3-mile bar trail back down from the Manitou incline, we checked out Manitou Springs. We went to the Penny Arcade, which is actually not a penny, just so you know. But we had so much fun with this horse race game. And then we checked out some of the fresh springs around the city. We didn't get around to doing everything on our list for this trip, mostly because we decided to do the Manitou Incline at the last minute, but we don't regret a single thing. Next time we'll visit Pikes Peak, the Olympic Training Center, and the focus on the family adventures in Odyssey. But for now, this was a perfect trip to Colorado Springs. We had an incredible time. We want to hear your favorite spots in Colorado.